Hello and welcome back to my small little library. Today we're gonna talk about knitting again, which I'm really excited for. Yeah, let's talk about everything that happened knitting-wise between now and the last video, which is I think a month and a half, roughly. I finished 3 things, not the 3 that I planned on finishing, but I finished 3. And I have a lot of whips now, which I will show you 4 of today. I do have a couple more, but these 4 are like the really active ones I'm working on, and at some point it's just gonna get too much. And at the moment I have a lot of fun starting new things, so yeah, it is what it is. I am wearing one of my knit things, not one of the new ones, but like one of the older ones, which I think they're called the mist sleeve. And I absolutely love this. This is so comfortable. This is made from Drops alpaca silk, halt double, and this is one of the most comfortable things I own. It's really soft and warm, and it's great for the fall weather that we're having right now, which I'm loving the weather. It is really getting me to wear my knits, which is obviously really exciting. So let's start with the first thing that I finished, which was actually a gift knit. Made out of the same yarn than what I'm wearing, held together with cotton, with the baby merino, I think, from Drops. This is just your basic ribbed knitted hat. I knit this for my partner because he actually asked me to if I would knit him something, and this is the first thing that I knit for somebody that wasn't me, which was scary, even though this is like a pretty basic pattern. It is called the Nordtuldri hat. I'm gonna put it on screen because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. By Barbara Seidenfaden, which sounds like a German name, so this might actually be a German pattern, but it is in English. I got the English version, and yeah, I really liked this hat. It looked really simple and basic, and my partner absolutely loves it, which makes me really proud and happy. I'm gonna have to say it, like, he's like, oh, it's so warm, it's really comfortable. He does shave his head off, like he has, like a lot of guys, he is losing his hair and he just shaves it all off, and that can leave heads quite scratchy and beanies. So yeah, he says this is perfect. Actually, it's really comfortable, and I'm really happy that he loves it. I technically wanted to knit a second one, but I got sidetracked, so I haven't done the second one yet, but I probably will knit him a second one, so you know, we can wash this one now and again because it's the only one he's wearing right now. He has so many, but you know, I feel really honored that it is the one that he's wearing like every day right now. The next thing I finished was a whip the last time we talked, and I didn't have enough yarn to finish it the last time, and so I ordered the yarn and I finished my Wait For It sweater. The Wait For It sweater is by Anne-Kathrin Stoll, which is also a German knitwear designer, I think. And yeah, I really love the look of this sweater. I'm gonna, as always, insert you clips of me wearing the stuff that I finished. The only thing is, in my personal opinion, the arms are too short. When I stand and wear the sweater, I feel like they look perfect where they are, but I love things longer on my hands, like these sleeves, for example. Like, they go up till here, so I can, you know, hide my hands in them. But in this one, they're not long enough for that. And I'm trying to just get used to it, which I think at some point I probably will, because otherwise this sweater is so comfortable. This is the Drops Cotton Merino, which I have to say, one of my favorite yarns. It hurts like hell to knit with it, which is something we're gonna come back to because I currently have a whip with the same yarn, which is really hurting my wrists, but the end result is wonderful. It's like a really comfy, not too warm, not too cold sweatshirt, and yeah, I have worn it even though I do feel weird with the arm length, so I don't know. I'm thinking about just putting a couple of centimeters more onto the ribbing, but on the other hand, I don't really want to be honest. I don't want to have to open the arms up again. So yeah, I might just look into if I can get used to it the way it is. But yeah, other than that, I think it looks brilliant. I cropped it in the original pattern. There were 3 of the triangles, I just put 2 and then put the ribbing, and yeah, it looks perfectly oversized and really, really pretty. This was done with 4mm needles, and I hit gauge, which was really nice because that doesn't happen too often with me. So yeah, I was really, really happy that I could finish this. I have, I think, a skein over because I didn't want to run out again, so I ordered 2 more skeins and I used up, I think, 3/4 of a skein. So I would have enough to actually lengthen this on the sleeves. I'm really afraid of taking the bind off because I had a lot of trouble on a different thing with that, and I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin it. So I don't know. If you have any experience with stuff like that, leave your opinion down below what I should do, but I'm not decided yet. Because I do still wear it like it is. I just think I would wear it more if the sleeves were a little bit longer. And then the second thing I finished was actually my own design, which, can you call it a design? It's just a basic raglan sweater that I did. I did a striped sweater with the Hobie Unicorn merino wool. This is a stock yarn, I think, because it has 25% polyamides or acrylic, something like that, polyester, and 75% superwash merino. This yarn is my absolute favorite feeling wise. This feels so soft. It isn't the warmest, I would say, but it is nicely warm, if you can get what I mean with that. But yeah, I just cast on a pretty big neckline because I wanted it to sit pretty low on my shoulders, which is something that I didn't do perfectly, but with the next iteration I will do it better. And then I did a pretty basic raglan with 4 stitches at the increase so that I would have this like bigger line, because I thought that would make a nice accent that you know, if you come closer you can see it. But from far away I think it's pretty invisible. And then I did balloon sleeves, which are my favorite sleeves, to be honest. And yeah, I did a pretty basic 1x1 ribbing and a folded over neckband. What I did do in the end, because when I knit this, it fit perfectly, but then I washed it obviously and it grew a little bit. I knew this wool would grow, but I kind of underestimated how much it would grow, and so the sweater kept sliding off my shoulder. And so what I did to fix that, which works perfectly, is I had from sewing some elastic sewing thread, and I just threaded that through the folded over neckband, which is pretty easy, and now it fits perfectly. So I think if I do it again, which I really love how this is fitting, so I will probably do it again in the future, I would just take out, I think, maybe about 10 to 20 stitches from the neckline so that it is a little bit more snug from the get-go, so I don't need the elastic, which I don't mind the elastic, but I think it would be nice to not have to do that in the end. But yeah, I think this is so far my absolute favorite thing I ever knit, mostly because it fits how I imagined it to fit, which you will have seen on the screen. It is just a pretty basic everyday sweater, which is something I was missing, and so I'm really happy, and I'm actually really proud that it came out how I wanted it to. I kept notes, so if I do it again, which, let's be realistic, I probably will, I can then look into the notes and have, like, know exactly how long everything needs to be to get an exact copy of this one, which is what I want. So yeah, that is actually really great. So those 3 things were the things I finished, which I think is a pretty good amount, you know, for working full time and having a lot of other hobbies left and right. So I think that is a good amount of knitting that I did. So let's talk about the whips. Let's start with the probably less interesting ones. I dabbled into filet crochet this month, and you can't see much yet because it takes forever. But I had this black thread, and I originally wanted to do bookmarks, but I couldn't find a pattern that I liked, and I had a little bit of trouble understanding how this really worked, and so I looked up a big tutorial. And this one is a Halloween themed one with cats and pumpkins. I thought it was really cute. You can't really see much. I'm really like only like a short part in, but I am enjoying this. I think it's a really cool form of crochet, and I think it has helped me get better with crochet, which is actually really nice. But yeah, this is done with a 1.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I just searched for a random free pattern. It's not really pattern, it's just the diagram of which stitches need to be crocheted and which need to be chains. So yeah, that is kind of like a mini project I do when my hands hurt too much from knitting. And then we have a second crochet project that is gonna be a long-term project because of how big this is gonna be and because it's not a priority for me. But I did start a star blanket, not the one that went viral a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, yeah, now. Just like a simple star blanket, and it's with this color changing yarn, and it's 100% cotton, which feels really nice. And yeah, this is gonna take forever because I plan on crocheting through 2 of these because I have 2 and I didn't really know what to do with them, and this project just fit perfectly. But yeah, that is a side project that I'm doing like maybe like a row a week on, so that's gonna take forever. But it's a side project. I don't need to rush through it. And now let's get to the 2 big projects that I currently have. Let's start maybe with the next project I'm gonna do for my husband, because he really wanted a sweater and I was like, okay, let me do your sweater. And I wanted to do this as the focus piece for the rest of this year. But let me tell you 2 things. First of all, I'm using the cotton merino drops and it is really hard on my wrists. That is problem number 1. Problem number 2, my husband is like pretty big. He's 100 and I think like 92 centimeters tall. Like he's really tall and he has broad shoulders. So there's a lot of knitting that needs to be done for him, because in comparison, I'm just 164 centimeters. I'm like quite a bit shorter than him, like by 30 centimeters. And obviously all of my things I knit are cropped, so that is even less knitting for myself. So I heavily underestimated how much knitting I would need to do for him. So it is going slower than I wanted to. I picked the Roland pullover for him, which is by, I'm gonna have to put it on screen by whom the pattern is, because I only see the yarn name here. Oh, it's in Pasquale Collezioni book 6. So it is a pattern from the yarn brand, I think, that this was originally done with. But I picked the cotton merino from Drops because my partner tends to spill things on himself. ADHD, you know. And so I needed a yarn that can be washed in the washing machine. Just to be totally honest with you. And this is how the project is looking so far. It is a raglan style knit and it has this cool detail on the shoulders, and so far I just finished that. So as you can see how big this is just his shoulders. For me it would be like down to like my arms already. But yeah, for him this is like halfway before splitting for the sleeves kind of. So yeah, it's you know, it's so much bigger than what I would knit for myself. But yeah, it is pretty cool. I like the color. He picked this like really cool teal color. And yeah, it's gonna take me a little bit. Yeah, I want it to be finished in like a month with this, which is not gonna happen. My hope at the moment is to finish it for Christmas for him. We will see if I can do that. He's not mad. He's like, prioritize whatever you want to do. So, you know, he's the best when it comes to that. But like, I want to finish it for him, obviously. But yeah, then I got distracted by a project for myself. And yeah, that is my full focus at the moment, the project for myself. And so my second current knit is the Maud sweater by Coco Amour. And I am way further with that. This is how it is looking so far. I am nearly finished with the first sleeve. I have, I think, 6 rows of ribbing left, and yeah, look at it, it is so pretty. This pattern makes me so happy. I knit on gauge, which I also am, no, I had to size up with this yarn from my partner, half a needle size to get gauge. This one I am knitting to gauge, but I am knitting 4 sizes up. I'm knitting this with the Hobie Unicorn Merino wool, you know, the same one as this because it is just so comfortable, in this really nice caramel color. I think it's called caramel. I love this color. It is screaming fall, and yeah, the yarn is thinner than what is supposed to be used with the pattern, and I could not get gauge for the life of me. So what I decided, instead of sizing up like 2 millimeters in needles, which would have been like, I don't know, 4 sizes, which would give you a totally different fabric because it would be so much looser, I just decided to size up in pattern size. So normally I would knit a size S for me because that is what I'm wearing size-wise. And I'm now wearing the 6th size, which should be around an L or an XL, I think. So yeah, I sized up quite a bit. And I still had to add a lot of rows onto the sleeve because the sleeve came out way too short. Obviously my row gauge seems to be pretty off as well. But yeah, so this is a little bit of like improvising how it's gonna fit me. But I'm so happy that I'm doing it. I think it looks so cool, and I have to say, I think this is the best folded collar I have ever done. It looks so good. I am absolutely in love with it, and yeah, it looks so clean. And it is really stretchy, so it goes over my head really easily. And yeah, this is my absolutely pride and joy at the moment. And my plan is to finish it to the 26th of October because that is my birthday, and I would love to wear this for my birthday, which is unrealistic, but we're gonna try. I have a week and a half left to do that, so it seems a little bit unrealistic. But yeah, those are all of the projects I'm currently working on. And then I have yarn on my way for another crochet project, but I'm not going to talk about that now because the yarn has to arrive and I have to finish a little bit of this up before I can actually start the next project. But like, I have so many ideas. I'm full of ideas for knitting and crochet, and you know, my head is so full of them. But yeah, I hope this video was interesting. If you want to share what you are knitting or crocheting in the comments, please do that. I will link all of the patterns down below. So if you do want to do the mod sweater, for example, you can just click on the pattern in Ravelry and get it, because I think it was quite a reasonable price for the pattern. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, and have fun knitting. And bye bye.